Trapped in a surreal nightmare, Aiden, a child, is hunted by a monstrous being who torments and traumatizes him, taking him away from the safety of his house, away from his parents, to play a horrifying game of hide-and-seek with him. Hi folks, I'm R, your narrator, and welcome to Baby Blue's Nightmare, which has exactly the right recipe for a tragic story. An innocent child, a dysfunctional marriage, and a troubling, imaginative mind. Aiden, a little child, has a fascination with ugly dolls, feeling bad for them as they don't get picked up by other kids who tend to only play with beautiful dolls. Aiden seems to have compassion towards them, wanting to give the unloved and dismissed the attention and love that they deserve and need. He would rather spend time with his toys than play with the other kids as he found peace with them. Loving a show called Red Belly and Friends, Aiden collected all the dolls from the show, apart from Red Belly himself, as he was mean to the other dolls, and Aiden didn't like that, even though Red Belly was beautiful. These friends are Mr. Bunny Teeth, Miss Starry, Honey Claw, Kitty Puzz, and Cloudy Head. Despite their less than pleasant and creepy looks, Aiden felt peace and safety with them, sleeping with them so he would feel protected against the real monsters who might look normal but are different on the inside. One day, these friends are suddenly gone, with no trace left behind, which makes little Aiden believe that maybe it was the work of Red Belly, the supposed nicest one of all, as sometimes the real monsters come in a nice way and with a friendly face.
Aiden was a very, very special boy. He was a bit different than the other kids around his age. Instead of playing with the other kids, he loved to play with his toys. While all the other kids chose the most beautiful dolls to play with, Aiden, on the other hand, used to ask all the time why the ugly dolls always get ignored, while only the beautiful ones get the most attention. So Aiden loved to collect the least beautiful dolls so they don't feel left out. Aiden always felt sad when someone was being left out. He wanted to be kind to everyone, despite their looks. Aiden was obsessed with a show called Red Belly and Friends and collected all its dolls, except Red Belly himself, because even though Red Belly was the nice-looking one, he was always mean to the other dolls. Aiden didn't like when someone was mean to others. He had Kitty Paws, Mr. Bunny Teeth, Miss Starry, Honey Claw, and Cloudy Head. He always wanted them to sleep next to him because they made him feel safe. The real monsters wouldn't come near him because the dolls were his protection. Aiden never went anywhere without them. Everywhere he went, he took them with him. Each and every one of them. Until one day, they were gone. Maybe it was the work of Red Belly, the nicest one among the group. Because sometimes the real monsters come in a nice way and with a friendly face. Good night.
As little Aiden goes on to look for his beloved toys, he hears his parents screaming and shouting at each other, having a full-blown argument.
What? I can't talk to people! I am out of here! Come on! What? Because I have a conversation with somebody constantly, and I am not... What? If I was having a...
Finding a sketch that he made himself, it displays what a dysfunctional marriage the parents have, possibly on the brink of separation, as they keep arguing and can't get along together. This unfortunately has its impact on Aiden, leaving a toll on him. When the argument escalates, with the parents throwing projectiles at each other and breaking plates and dishes, it causes poor Aiden to burst into uncontrollable tears. The crying mechanics in the game make the protagonist vulnerable to enemies who can find him, even if he goes to hiding. In order to restore the cry meter, Aiden needs to find and eat chocolate to make himself feel better. As he explores the house more, Going to the living room, he notices everything being broken, with wine bottles being thrown around. There's a large pool of red fluid, which is unclear to be whether blood or spilled red wine. Either way, this terrifies little Aiden, who tries to find his dolls in order for them to protect him. Going to the basement, more trails and pools of red fluid appear, making Aiden get really concerned of what has happened. While in the basement, Aiden gets his first encounter with Mr. Red Billy, who chases after him, looking like a horrifying monster with a large mouth and sharp teeth. Escaping the horrifying Mr. Red Billy, Aiden goes to the garage and gets on his tricycle, trying to leave the house when he sees his mother calling him. Pedaling towards her, a large arm emerges, making him pass out when he wakes up in a nursery. There he finds a little poster entailing Red Billy's backstory. In the shadows deep, where moonlight's smelly, lurks a fearsome creature known as Red Billy. Its eyes are voids, no vision to find, yet in its own way it sees with its mind. Sometimes its temper may flare. A roar like thunder fills the darkened air. It feasts not only on dolls with their stitches and threads, but also on the naughty ones that don't eat their fruits and veg. But if you do, then it longs for a friend or two to see past its frightful, monstrous hue. Otherwise, it's coming for you. Mr. Red Billy seems a little too scary to be a character appropriate for children's entertainment, which makes this place seem a little more surreal than real, as if this entity is playing tricks on Aiden's mind. The nursery seems torn apart, with blood trails everywhere and the eerie imagery of what is supposed to be child-friendly. It seems as if Red Billy dragged Aiden into its nightmarish domain. This entity seems to be able to even mimic the voice of different people, as it tries to trick Aiden into opening the fire exit door where it's been locked out.
It's me, Aiden.
The nursery being filled with bloodstains, with others seemingly having died to this monstrous being. It smashes through the strong fire exit doors, trying to catch Aiden while sadistically laughing. It truly seems nothing can stop this monster. After finding his dolls, the voice of his mother can be heard as a memory on how she promised him everything would be okay as long as he has all his favorite dolls together and hugs them.
Aiden. You don't have to be afraid, Aiden. Aiden, it's time to get dressed for your doctor's appointment. Oh, come on, baby boy. You don't have to worry. Tell you what, you can bring all your favorite dolls with you. How does that sound? Whenever you're scared or afraid of something, just hug all of them all tight together, and they will protect you from anything.
This happened after he was meant to go for a doctor's appointment, which caused him to be really scared. All of a sudden, the nursery transforms into a dark room with the path and points of interests being lit up with glow in the dark paint. The voice continues echoing in Aiden's mind on how she named him after his grandfather and how the father is a doll maker, which means all the dolls Aiden has are made by the father. Aiden's short life repeats to him, with the mother narrating it, promising he will be one of the luckiest kids, as he will have any toys that he wants, only if she would know.
You are going to be the luckiest kid ever on the block.
As he walks down this imaginary path, it's explained how all this happened in Aiden's mind, as he has a powerful imagination, not being able to tell the difference between reality and fiction. Aiden's condition makes him struggle from making any friends, being obsessed with the Red Billy and Friends show, watching it consistently, with his imagination flaring up. The parents, feeling worried for Aiden, take him to a specialist, which seems as if he has some sort of mental disorder, making it difficult for the parents to afford the treatments and get by. This leads to the parents' relationship getting rocky due to anxiety and financial difficulty, with the mother becoming paranoid and the father leaving the house and coming back home late to get away from responsibility and the sadness that is in the house. The arguments between the parents lead to verbal and physical abuse, making the once calm and peaceful house into a nightmarish hell full of toxicity and pain. During one intense argument, the wife calling the husband pathetic and useless. He loses control and hits her with a hammer, causing her to lose her life. This explains the initial pool of red fluid and broken furniture, which belonged to none other than the mother. The father soon turns his attention to Aiden, an innocent child whom he sees as the culprit of damaging his marriage and life, something he was hopeful about, a life that he wanted to lead, living happily with his family. Seeing how his hands are stained with blood, he loses his mind, chasing after his own son to punish him for his own shortcomings and failures. It's unveiled Mr. Red Belly was the father ever since, the monstrous and horrifying entity chasing after him and traumatizing him. He was the one who took his dolls away, his guardians, whom the mother promised to protect him in the times of fear and difficulty. Eventually, Aiden wakes up in a crib looking like a nursery, which turns out to be an adoption center. A staff member being heard in the background explains how Aiden was taken away from the house with new foster parents wanting to take Aiden. Despite being removed from this toxic house, Aiden's imagination torments him, and he sees his father, Mr. Red Belly, torturing him and traumatizing him every day, dragging him to his own hell, which he created and put his family in. In the crib, Aiden is seen having his dolls with him, as his mother once promised him having all his dolls together would protect him. But regardless, Mr. Red Belly is seen crawling into his crib, never leaving his side, engraved in his memory, never to leave him alone. Therefore, when the narrator in the beginning said that the most evil monsters come with the friendliest faces, she was talking about Aiden's father, who destroyed a life which could have had a happy ending. Aiden couldn't make friends and had a connection with the unloved and uncared for, as he felt that way with his dysfunctional parents. In the beginning, we see how the mother is next to Aiden, but suddenly, she alongside the dolls are gone, which is the representation of the father killing the mother. Mr. Red Belly, or otherwise the father, took the dolls away, the ones who made Aiden feel safe and protected, which essentially means the mother was taking that role, making Aiden feel safe, but as the father took her away, the dolls were seemingly gone. And that's about it for this tragic story, yet another one in the list. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, you can stay tuned for more by hitting on the subscribe button and the notification bell. As always, it's been your host Star, and I will see you on the next one. Have a fantastic day.